Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Bulls on Tap. I am your boy Buzz. I'm joined by my dude Goose, aka Bull Scripted, and we're just here to talk some shit about some Bulls basketball because we haven't been here in a while. Before we do that, be sure you're going on tapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at BullsOnTap, at OnTapSportsNet, following Goose at Bull Scripted, me at Buzz on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. Goose. It's been a minute. We have not recorded since August 2nd because everyday life is always just in the way. But a lot of things went down from the Lonzo Bull free agency special show, such as adding Alex Caruso, adding DeMar DeRozan. A lot of things went down. Summer League was also played as well. So, first of all, how the fuck are you? Second of all, what's running through your mind about this team, man?
I'm doing great. And the Bulls are doing better. I don't think, given the landscape of the players that moved this offseason, traded or signed in free agency, that the front office could have done much better than they really did. And with all the extensions that the key guys in the league have signed throughout next year and even maybe 2 years out, the move made sense. If you're going to get one of these other star players, you are going to have to trade up. I do feel that we expended maybe too many assets to be able to make that next step to trade up, but you never know. Maybe somebody values Kobe crazy style, or maybe Pat is expendable in this front office's eyes if that means getting a top 10 caliber player to put along Zach. So there's plenty of options that could open up down the road, and I do think they put themselves in position to compete in the East, which was the goal. That keeps Zach LaVine here. That keeps your best asset here in Zach LaVine. So, fuck it. If that was the cost to play ball this offseason, assets well spent.
Yeah, I'm along the same thinking process. A lot of people said we gave up too much for DeMar DeRozan. I went and I looked at a bunch of stats of his and like the percentiles he lands in, how effective of a player he could be. I'm excited about it. I don't think DeMar DeRozan has played on a team with as many snipers surrounding him as that he has now. I'm excited to see what he could do, and he brings a level of legitimacy to the starting lineup for sure, and to the squad itself. So I'm super stoked on that. I mean, the starting lineup of Lonzo, Zach, DeRozan, Pat Williams, and Nikola Vucevic. I mean, a lot of scoring can be had there. I'm a little worried about the defensive side, just really having, Lonzo and Pat. Really, and Pat's not that great of a defender. He can stay on you, but he's not. I wouldn't put him in the upper echelon just yet.
Do you think his defensive, like the overall perception of his defense, improves when you move him to the 4 with a DeMar DeRozan on the floor instead of a Lauri Markkanen? Because DeMar might not be, an all defensive style player, but he is an upgrade over Lauri Markkanen on the perimeter.
No, he absolutely is, and that's a fair statement to make. Maybe he does improve when he goes to the 4. But again, I don't really want to comment too much on it yet until I really see him getting time at the 4 and playing it before I'm like, I crown him a good defender. I think we have a good wing defender in Lonzo Ball, really on ball, good defender as well. You have Zach, who had improved, made some strides last year, helped defense kind of suck, but Team USA, he looked pretty good. So maybe that, helped him a bit. DeMar DeRozan, we know his defense. So,
what do you think that was with Zach on Team USA? Do you think it was desire to impress his now peers in that top group that he's in and accepting a different role because everybody there could fucking score? Do you think some of that carries over? The Bulls do have a lot more scoring. The offensive load should be lifted off his shoulders a bit in terms of ball handling with DeMar and Lonzo, as well as scoring with DeMar, Lonzo, and Vooch. So, Does Zach have more energy and more attention to defense with a better team around him?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair. I think that he's not going to have to focus on scoring the rock as much. Of course, he's going to look for his shots for sure. But at the end of the day, he doesn't need to be the be-all, end-all on the offensive side of the floor. He can, at least savor some of that energy on the defensive end, and hopefully, he learns and he continues to improve. And with him being on Team USA, to your point, yeah, he's around a bunch of dogs. He's around. These guys can score the rock. They're the best of the best in the league. So yeah, I think that's why he maybe tried to impress his peers a little bit, or maybe it was in him the whole time, like you said, and he just didn't have to be that guy to carry a team to a W. And it was the first time he won 4 games in a row since his UCLA days. So he didn't have to be the be all end all, which is pretty fantastic. Now, DeRozan's fit. You've had a lot of tweets out there about how at first you were kind of questioning it. Where are you at now with it? Like, have you circled around to an area where you feel comfortable, or are you still questioning it?
I've circled around to DeMar DeRozan telling people like me to shut the fuck up. So if you watched his introductory conference,
yeah, I did.
He pretty much, obviously everybody takes the Iverson practice quote out of context, but he pretty much applied that to fit. Fit? You're talking about fit? Like, what? Fit? We're all good basketball players. As long as the common denominator is winning, the fit will work itself out. So don't you guys worry about that. And that was the realest introductory conference I've seen in a long time. DeMar DeRozan's probably one of the realest people in the league. And as much as I hated giving up 2+ positive assets and sprinkling some extra seconds in there and possibly overpaying his market value compared to what everybody else was going to pay on top of that, having that dog mentality here, we needed that, especially because we lost Daniel Tice. So, like I said, that's where I sit on fit. DeMar DeRozan told me to sit down and shut up. I'm gonna sit down and shut up and let it play out.
I almost put a tweet out when you were questioning it, and I didn't do it because I didn't have enough time to get to it. But I put DeRozan's face on Dave Chappelle, and I put your face on Charlie Murphy, and it was the 5 fingers to the face.
You had me getting bitch slapped by DeMar DeRozan.
I had to get bitch slapped because you were talking a little bit too much shit for my liking.
Yeah,
you were getting on, and I usually criticize the Bulls a lot, but I was actually excited about this. And I look at your Twitter, see how excited is he? Getting ready to text you. I look at your tweet. They might have overpaid. I'm like, you had to fucking bring me down.
It's not even a might, bro. They fucking overpaid. But situationally, that was the cost to do business. So you can't really argue with it. It's done. It's over with. Let's see how screwed we get by this tampering investigation. I'm glad to have Lonzo. That's probably my favorite signing of the offseason. But let's see how much he costs us. He didn't cost us a first in the trade, just Tomas and the second, I believe. But man, he might end up costing us some firsts, which is going to suck because that would be a rookie mistake on the front office, or I guess we could blame Rich Paul, but that's going to hurt. Hopefully it's a slap on the wrist because everybody in the league does it. I think teams
this whole thing is just so blown out of fucking proportion, and it's so stupid to me. Like, these guys are recruiting each other all throughout the fucking year. You know what I'm saying? Like, all throughout the year. Hey man, let's play together. Let's do this. Seriously, I want to see some sort of evidence from the NBA, something that states that they were tampering before. I mean,
and how hard were the Bulls working to get that deal done before the buzzer at the deadline? So the groundwork to this was already done. You already knew what was going to be there.
Right, it was already there. I mean, what's the tampering, Goose? Is it? Oh well, Zach liked his Instagram poster. Fucking Zoe tagged Zach in some sort of fucking challenge.
Lonzo was wearing red and black in a post that he tagged Zach LaVine, and that was that.
Yeah, I mean, dude.
But LeBron James, Westbrook, and AD meeting up in one household and putting a plan together before free agency even opens—that's no big fucking deal.
Oh no.
But yeah, Lonzo Ball moving in a sign and trade. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, it was 10 seconds into the fucking thing, man. You can't structure a contract in a trade in 10 seconds. But
Adam Silver better watch his fucking P's and Q's here because we haven't had anything nice in some years, and we want some nice shit. So he needs to fucking chill out. Is what he needs to do. He needs to chill.
No, I mean, I guess in a sense,
and who's to say that wasn't the deal?
Picks. So, like, how many more can you take away? Like, are you just going to say, all right, Chicago, 0 firsts for the next 5 years now?
He's going to Brooklyn Nets us, man. He's going to take all of them away, and we're just going to fall into purgatory, and then our rich Russian owner is going to sell. Is that what's going to happen?
Because as I was talking, a couple people on Twitter, we do have that security net of most of these firsts being protected. We can fall back. We can trade everything away and tank, and as long as, it's a top pick, we will keep it. So. Right. You do have that pivot back, at least to where you were. I don't know if we have the pivot to get to where we want to be as consistent contenders, because the window with Vooch and DeMar here is probably 2 years. But that 2 years takes you to a point where you hope Zach, Pat, and Zoe are a solid core that you can build a contender around.
Right. Now, another thing I want to talk about that's obviously it's a hot topic, and it's been a hot topic, but what is going to happen with Lowry Markkanen? Now, we're sitting here. Is he coming back on a qualifying offer at $9 million? Are the Bulls still looking to try to sign and trade him? Dallas still has interest. Minnesota actually pulled the trigger off and got rid of Culver and Hernan Gomez already. So that deal was what I had kind of was looking at as hoping that the Bulls might be able to do that. Obviously, it didn't happen. So are we going to be stuck with a mad Lowry? You finally think he plays good? You finally think he stays on the court and get out of his shell a little bit? Because he's coming off the bench. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, he thinks he's a starter in this league. Not in this lineup. He's not.
No, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of cliche to say that could go one of two ways because that's the way everything can go.
It can always go three ways.
It can always go three ways. No, I mean, if you get Lowry back on $9 million, I think the prospect of that sounds great. Lowry off the bench drastically improves this team. I don't think outside of Paul Millsap that there's a better fit at power forward out there.
A lot of people want Millsap. A lot of people want Millsap on this squad.
Yeah. And a lot of teams want Millsap on their squad. So
right.
Be curious to see what happens there. I don't know if the holdup there is the Lowry domino that we're still waiting on. But ultimately, I think a pissed off Lowry back on a $9 million deal could be a positive thing. Like I said, outside of Millsap, I don't think there's a better option at backup power forward. As promising as Marco was in Summer League and some of the things we're able to see in his game and his post passing and his post presence, he doesn't look like he's going to play much for. He looks a little too lumbering and slow for perimeter defense consistently. So I think he's going to be, a long-term project at the 5. We got Tony Bradley going to be repping 13. Haven't read to see if he got Noah's blessing on that, but to wear 13, he claims he's representing respect in Noah. So we shall see how he honors the great Joakim. Maybe we'll see Joakim become a bench coach or something with Billy. I think that would be pretty fucking cool.
You know what's funny is did you see the outrage? Because I didn't see as much outrage for Joakim, which I thought I would, for Joakim Noah's number being announced. With Tony Bradley that I did for Rose who was it that came here? Michael Carter Williams, who was going to wear one, and people fucking, lost it. It was bad.
Rightfully so. That guy would brick jumpers off the fucking backboard. We don't need that shit.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, fucking A. I mean, yeah, I covered in an article for On Tap the New Jersey numbers. Alex Caruso will take over Keith Bogan's number of 6.
Hey, that's Felicio's number. What are you talking about?
Well, I had to start with Keith Bogan's first because the last 2 numbers, 2 people to don that number have been severely ineffective. So, we had that going.
Felicio's a legend, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, Bulls guy Rob will tell you he's a legend all day. Absolutely. I apologize. So we have Io wearing number 12, which I'm still not super stoked on that because I was really upset when Gafford got it. Felicio forever. From our boy Johnny Nani there. But I mean, Kirk Heinrich is a legend in my mind. So
get your Kirk Heinrich jackstrap out of your mouth.
Sir, we have not recorded together in a long time, and just because I was going to make James slap you does not mean I have to get Heinrich's jock out of my mouth. I just implied that it was in my mouth. See what you did there, and I'm upset about it a little bit. So fuck you. Anyway, Lonzo will wear number 2. Who's okay? So let's play a little game. Obviously, Heinrich comes to your mind for 12. So when you think of the number 2 for the Chicago Bulls, who do you think of immediately?
Lil Nate
Robinson. I think of Eddie Curry immediately.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm glad I think a little Nate.
I'm glad we think a little Nate too, because Nate Robinson was, a lot
provided
better.
Some positive moments. Eddie Curry
he had some positive moments.
Provided nothing but disappointment.
All right, DeRozan wearing number 11. Ronnie Brewer, is that where you're going right away?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where my mind goes. It's disappointing that it goes there. I wish it was attached to something better because other than being a backdoor specialist and a perimeter defender, Ronnie wasn't, the greatest player, but he was a good role guy.
Think about
Hoping
Dougie
DeMar is
McDermott
much
in
more than that
2017.
for $30 million.
Dougie McDermott in 2017 wore that number 2 when Wade came to town. He had to switch from his number 3.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So then we already have Caruso at number 6, and then number 19 is what Simonovic had picked. And I was just like so curious to like look and see who wore that number. There are 2 players in franchise history that have worn a number 19.
That's it. In franchise existence. 2.
Yes, just 2. It's Bob Boozer and Shalar Halaman. And I don't know who the fuck that is. He was 1970. So went back to back. Boozer was 1967 through 69. And then this Hamelon guy was 1970. So there are only 2 players in Bulls history to wear number 19.
A guy named Bob Boozer would play fucking professional basketball in 1969.
Is that Carlos Boozer's dad?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I have no idea. But yeah, so those are the fucking jersey numbers. But I mean, I'm, dude, like I know we're having fun with it. I'm stoked on the team. Summer League, I liked what we saw a little bit out of Devon Dotson. That dude is
coming back on a 2-way.
Yeah, and he's fucking fast. Like he's just really, really fast. The big bodies are going to give him trouble in the paint, and he's got to shoot a little bit better to even work himself somewhat into a rotation. But I loved what I saw out of Io. I loved what I saw out of Simonovic. I mean, he had his moments, but I liked how he was trying to catch bodies. He's still young. I liked that, dude. I really did. And then Patrick Williams, absolutely, pretty much fire. That aggressive gene is not in there. And he's really going to have to bring it out because I don't see it still. But when he played aggressive, when he forced himself to do it, I felt like he looked pretty good.
I'm digging his one-handed passes as much as they didn't work out a lot of the times in the Summer League. I just love that he uses those mammoth hands like we used to see MJ doing, using that thing like a paintbrush. So I'm very curious to see Pat's development, as we heard constantly over and over again throughout the Summer League broadcast. Pat's younger than a lot of these rookies coming into the league this year still. So
I think he turned 20 this week, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was still 19 while they were playing. You got the final game off because the Bulls weren't really in any position to be playing for the championship. But, he
actually turns 20 on the 26th.
All right, yeah, still 19.
Yeah.
Still get to play the Jason Tatum game for another couple of weeks.
Yep.
So Pat ceiling's there. It feels like it's set up. I think that's the underrated fact of adding DeMar is you kind of want Pat to be the more two-way version of what DeMar is. Early in his development, Pat is kind of like a raw DeMar. He's a very versatile,
better shooting touch, but yeah.
Better shooting touch, but right now, at least when he came into the league, it was all mid-range. That's where he's comfortable. He runs from the three-point line to the mid-range, becoming a lot more comfortable as a catch-and-shoot player at 19 already, though. So I think adding a veteran like DeMar that definitely has that dog mentality on top of a similar skill set, that's another positive of bringing in a vet like DeMar to kind of help mold Pat into that kind of player over the next 3 years here.
Yeah, and that's a big thing why I think they signed him. I'm not signed him. They want to be competitive, but going after and grabbing DeRozan like they did, I feel like the development, the vet leadership that's still on this team with Thad even being gone, somebody whose game is kind of like Patrick Williams' game is going to be super beneficial. Summer League, dude, I love the fact that when he was bringing the ball up the court, and if he was actually playing decent off the pick and roll, and he was looking to create, create for his teammates. I love that. But that step back three and then just that ability to pull up really did impress the shit out of me. I mean, his numbers were good last year, and just under 2 attempts a game, he was shooting like 38%. I mean, it's in there. And that's big in today's NBA, the fact that he could bring the ball up the court, the fact that he can move without the ball a bit, get into his spots and hit a three. I mean, dude, I'm so stoked to watch this offense. Like, I'm really hoping Billy Donovan can put it all together and make this a free-flowing, just exciting offense. That's what I'm looking at.
Well, and at least in the starting lineup, and maybe it's somewhat negative for his development because we want to see the aggression, but he gets to be the fifth option. Last year, he was probably your second, third option, unless Kobe and Zach are on the floor at the same time together until we got Vooch. So, now he gets to legitimately be the last option on offense. And maybe that's I don't know. Like I said, that can go either way. It's positive for the team that he's going to be your 5th best player, but I don't know in terms of his development how that works. He is really going to have to dig deep and find that aggressive gene, and apply himself in situations, because we don't want to see him get lost and taking under 5 shots a game, like we did a lot last year.
Right. Now, another thing I want to bring up before we start wrapping it up is, all right, so the perception of the Chicago Bulls. Let's get into that real quick. The perception of the Chicago Bulls. So there was an ESPN article that came out a couple days ago. Now, they had executives in here, I think some reporters in there just taking votes. Some voted the Bulls as the best moves of the offseason. Some voted the Bulls, or the Bulls were tied for first for the DeRozan thing. Now, in the Eastern Conference, you have a lot of people thinking that they won't even make a top 6 seed. Where are you at with that? See, I'm bought in. I think they could be in the top 6. I think they can avoid the play-in. I really can. I don't know what's going to happen. Injuries could always happen, of course. I understand that. We're Bulls fans. We see that all the fucking time. But if healthy, I think the Bulls have enough talent on paper to avoid the play-in. And I'm talking 7, 8, 9, and 10. That's what I'm talking about. Like, top 6, avoid it, lock yourselves in and ride. So where are you at with it?
I'm at 5 to 8. I mean, I think that's realistic area. And obviously that puts me in pretty close to the same area that you are.
Yeah.
I'm just not as confident that they'll lock themselves into that. Obviously, like you said, injuries, the way the cookie crumbles, they could be in the top 4. They do have that kind of talent on this team. They do get a full off season together, which they didn't have last year. You don't have as many rookies that you're implementing into the rotation, which, as much as it sucks not to have had a first, that learning curve is not going to be there as much for anybody, because I don't think Io, outside of maybe some spot bench minutes, is going to be in the rotation initially, unless Kobe's out.
And Kobe will be out to start the season. So
no, yeah. I mean, maybe he's in there, but 5 to 8 is definitely a comfortable, realistic prediction for me.
Yeah, it was funny to me because Stephen A was, talking about how he thinks the Knicks are better. I think the Knicks got worse. I don't think that they're any better. I think the Bulls drastically got better, because if you watch Chicago Bulls basketball last year, for stretches of time, I felt like I was watching Walt Lemon Jr. out there again and shit like that. It was just fucking terrible. It was hard to watch, And then another thing I kind of want to touch on, you got a couple not superstar players, but larger-than-life personalities on this team. DeRozan is a second-tier superstar, but you have Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, who just coming off a gold medal win. The Bulls have 12 primetime games, is what they said. 12 national televised games this year, 7 of which are on NBA TV. NBA, that's not a fucking nationally televised game. My dad does not have NBA TV, so he does not get to watch that. I mean, he'll get to watch it on local, but you know what I'm saying. That's not a nationally televised game. We have 1 TNT game this year, so we only get 1 TNT Bulls game, and then I believe we have 3 on ESPN. So the disrespect pisses me off a little bit, Goose. It pisses me off. I think that we should have had a couple more at least. I mean, come on, man. We're Chicago. They made moves. They were the talk of the offseason for like a week. And we get fucking 12 nationally televised games, 7 of which are on NBA TV. Come on, Adam Silver. I liked Adam Silver. Okay, I did. If he takes picks from us, I swear to God, I'm gonna roundhouse kick him. I'm not really gonna do that. Please don't arrest me if anybody's watching this. I really will not. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Like, it's bullshit, dude. Like, where's the recognition for once? I mean, I'd rather listen to Stacey and Adam anyway, for sure. But I want people to see this team. I think they're going to do good things.
I think the Bulls have the opportunity to earn themselves more nationally televised games throughout the year. I think the fact that we were even given some is nice. I'm not going to be too picky. We haven't done shit the last few years. And as fun as this offseason was, who knows? I mean, Vegas thinks we're going to be better. That's usually a good indication that things are swinging upwards, because Vegas doesn't like to lose money. So Vegas tends to live in the realm of realism. And I do expect the Bulls to be much better and probably earn themselves, hopefully, some more TNT games. Because like you said, no, those NBA TV games are kind of like...
That's bullshit, dude. When they said national for that, I'm like, come on. I'm like, come on, it's not a national broadcast when it's on NBA TV. Not everybody has NBA fucking TV. I guess not everybody has ESPN and TNT either. But one more thing that I'm upset about that I have to vent about is I really thought because they won the offseason, in my opinion, of course, and a lot of other people's opinions too, not just mine. If they do think like I do, I like you. If you don't think like I do, then fuck you. But I was kidding. Christmas Day, we didn't get anything. And I was like, damn it, man. Like, I want to go so bad again on Christmas Day. You know, like there is nothing like waking up in the morning with your fam, going to, you know, opening your presents and, you know, going to a Bulls game and having a good time. My wife is not all for that, but Ren and I will be going once the Bulls are playing on Christmas again. I have re-upped my tickets, so I will be back at the United Center. I'll be able to pick that game if they're at home. But are you upset they're not on Christmas this year?
I mean, of course I'm upset, but like I kind of just covered, we haven't proven shit on
yes,
paper.
we have. We prove we won the offseason. We prove we care. We prove we're a major market. Fucking throw us on there.
It don't mean nothing. Yeah, we're Chicago. We're the Bulls.
And
on
did
paper,
Jokic get fucked too?
Yeah, no, well, see, but that's my point. Is you have somebody like Jokic. I think he's the first MVP to not play on Christmas since like 2006. Was the random ass stat that I saw on Twitter. So if he's getting screwed, can we really complain? And that's
fuck Denver.
Hey, we can't say fuck Denver. The head of our snake in the front office is from Denver.
I don't know. He's not from Denver. He worked in Denver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right, sorry.
But Jokic will be a Bull after the end of 2023, by the way.
We're swapping out Vooch for Yoke.
Yeah, Yoke's coming. Yoke will be here. But anyway, I don't know, man. That just pissed me off a little bit. I just wish that we had gotten a little bit more recognition. Not just because I know we haven't done anything. I understand.
It's all right. We get to be the underdog.
Sometimes I don't like being the underdog. Every fucking team I love is an underdog all the time. Like, there's just a team that I want that's going to, like, go shove their foot down someone's throat and be like, I'm coming to take your soul.
And then you have to be a bandwagon fan and, like, be a Yankees fan.
I don't want to.
I mean, you can't be a Patriots fan anymore because Tom Brady's gone. But, you know, you just got a bandwagon hop if you want to feel that way. Unfortunately, we're going to be underdogs. And I think that's a good thing because I think at this point, Lonzo Ball's accepted that he's an underdog. Zach LaVine's accepted that he's an underdog. DeMar DeRozan's hearing all this shit on how he's an underdog. And Vooch has always been looked at like, you know, just a back-end star, just kind of a boring 2010 guy. Perkins can't even pronounce his name. Big Vucevic. You know, so all these guys are underdogs. So that's going to be the identity of this team, and they're going to grit and grind, and they're going to scrape for it. And that's a different identity that we've had the last 3 or 4 years. So let's embrace it, and let's be underdogs and not play on Christmas and spend time with our families and not worry about basketball on that day.
Disagree with that. All right. Anyway, I don't really have much else, but I do want to talk about a little bit, something unrelated to the Bulls summer league wise. Well, it's actually related to the Bulls because his brother is our point guard. LiAngelo Ball, you think he makes the roster over there in Charlotte?
I wouldn't even be mad if we threw him a two-way, man. Like,
I wouldn't be mad either if we threw him a two-way. He showed me some shit. I was pretty impressed.
The LeVar presence scares me.
I love it.
Just because if you no, it's not that I don't like LeVar. I think that he's a distraction to your organization and your team. So I think that's something you risk in signing LiAngelo to like a two-way contract. Because other than Troy Baxter Jr. or Tyler Bay on the Bulls' actual summer league team, I'm not sure who's getting that second spot.
What about Simi? What did you think about Simi?
I mean, Simi's had moments for us the last couple of years. I think Simi's a perennial G leaguer. Yeah. I think with Marco being your project at the 5, you're not going to take on Simi as another 5 project. Who is somebody else that just came out? I don't know what's going on with Makoka. Is he going to get a full roster spot this year? Is he coming back on a two-way? Are we giving up on the Frenchman?
I think they renounced the rights for Adam Makoka.
They renounced the rights? Okay.
I believe they did. That. Yeah, he is. He recently played for the Bulls, obviously.
We didn't see him in Summer League.
Yeah, and he says he's on a well, according to his wiki, this is not really telling much here. I'm looking for news on Makoka. I don't know if
So
Wait,
no, I
Adam
know.
Makoka is the only other player for the last season who is eligible for a qualifying offer. Yeah, I've got really nothing here on Makoka.
Okay. So no, yeah, like I said, that's kind of a mystery right now. I know he hasn't signed the two-way. It's very possible that they had to renounce his.
I think they did renounce his rights, so I remember seeing that somewhere.
They might have had to do that to make most of these moves, so that wouldn't be too surprising. Obviously, that doesn't mean that they can't still pick him up. So no, curious what happens with him if he just re-ups on a two-way like Dotson, and those two spots are the same as last year, and it's focused on developing. But if not, I would not mind throwing a contract to LiAngelo. I do think he showed some stuff in summer league, and obviously being a part of that family, he's always going to have that drive to want to get to the league. He feels left out.
Yeah, well, I mean, rightfully so too. I mean, he fucked up when he was at UCLA a bit there, and kind of paid the price for it. Then he had to get the ankle surgery. I mean, we all knew from basically, if you watched any Chino Hills film on the Ball brothers, and those guys were fucking big as hell when when Lonzo was coming out. They were all over the place. LeVar was all over the place. I mean, it was amazing for that family. I mean, kind of annoying for a lot of other people. But, regardless, if you watch Chino Hills footage, you knew Lonzo had the makings of being a very good player. You knew that LaMelo could surpass both of them just by watching him play. And then LiAngelo was kind of a bulldog, but short, 6'5", wasn't, got bored.
Short. He's 6'5".
Well,
he's fucking short.
Well, for how he was playing, he was short, and then getting to UCLA wasn't in the best shape. He could shoot the rock possibly better than both of his brothers, but just didn't seem to have the IQ on the court that his brothers had. But in this G League this year, how he played, he was slimmed down. He was fast. He made good decisions with the ball. Shooting, I mean, lights out from three, like 44% from three. He played defense. He showed IQ getting into the paint and challenging bigger bodies for boards. I was pretty impressed with him. I'd be goddamn shocked if Charlotte didn't give him a two-way. I'd be shocked if they didn't. He was by far and away, I think, one of the best players on that G League team for them.
No, I mean, I think your point to where he kind of was more of like a power forward bulldog in his high school kind of days, having that skill set as well as being a shooter that's now slimmed down. I think he has kind of an all around game that, screw it. If it makes your team better, throw him a two-way. Like I said, I think the only real concern there is having two of our kids on your team, but maybe that's not a concern. Maybe LeVar pushing his all three kids getting onto one team. Maybe that's what you want.
Maybe here in Chicago, who knows?
Yeah, shit. Maybe you got LaMelo, Lonzo, and LiAngelo 1 through 3, and Zach starts playing power forward. I don't fucking know.
That we would get killed a lot.
Obviously that's a bad joke.
I'm gonna do that on 2K, and I'll report to you how it goes in fake simulation bullshit.
But on a two-way contract, I don't see how you could go wrong.
Yeah, right. I'll agree. I'll agree with you there. I would like to see him get a contract. I mean, I love it for the be with the Bulls just because I like watching the Windy City Bulls, and thank God they'll be back this year. We had stars such as Antonio Blakeney over there, Cristiano Palacio.
Even after having that card game stick up that he set up, having that trouble with the law, he was kicking some ass for Portland.
Yeah, he was.
Vegas too.
He can hoop. It doesn't translate over to the league because
he's too busy playing my player. He just can't pass the ball.
Right.
I got the rug. Shoot.
Before we leave out, we have the preseason schedule, so we unfortunately have to wait over a month for Bulls basketball, which just fucking sucks. This is the worst. But they'll start it off on October 5th against the Cleveland Cavaliers, then against the Pelicans, then against the Cleveland Cavaliers again on 10/10. That'll be at Cleveland, and that's the only one that's away for the Bulls preseason games. All the other three are home. The last one will be against the Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies there I lost the date of it. Well, fuck it. That's the last game. And then to start the season off, the Chicago Bulls are away in Detroit. And I am really, really, really debating on whether or not I'm going to buy tickets and go to this game. That's what I want to do. And that'll be on the 20th of October. This is NBA opening night, kicks off on the 19th. Bulls got
And
fucked
then the
out
home
of that
opener is
too.
against the Pelicans, right?
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And that'll be on the 22nd. I will be there for that. I will be in attendance for that one for sure. We do have the opportunity again. I have not told you yet, but we do have the opportunity again to go to the practice this year. So I'll get you with you on the dates with all of that. Nani's going to come with me to one. I guess we're getting 2 or 3. So we're going to have that. We're going to have that go. We're going to go there again and check that shit out. But yes. So yeah, I mean, it sucks. We have to wait about a month for Bulls basketball, but again, dude, the optimism is sky high with me right now. I can't fucking wait to see what happens.
No, in terms of last year's team, I think the roster has done a complete 360. I don't want to do a 360 because then you're back to where you are. We did a 180.
And Jason Kidd said that one time and did a complete 360, the offense. It's like, you mean you went back to where you were? Yeah, no, we did a 360.
We went all the way back around. Yeah, well,
no, we did
where you started.
Oh, God, dude. Yeah, no. That's a 180, man.
Exciting times for Bulls basketball. I by no means expect us to be contenders, but the Atlanta Hawks fucked around and found themselves close to making the championship. So you never know what can happen in this league, and the Bulls have put them in position, themselves in position to, be that surprise team. So
absolutely,
let's do it.
Yep, only good juju around, man. Well, if we ain't got anything else, everybody be sure you're going on tapsportsnet.com for other Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following Goose on Twitter at BullScripted, me at BuzzOnTap. Following Bulls on Tap at OnTap Sportsnet. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us, 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. We'll be back when we're back. I don't know. We've been kind of going on little hiatuses here and there. Work and shit gets in the way every once in a while, but fuck it.
Yes,
we'll probably back when Lowry gets traded. Yeah. Jesus. We'll be back when we're back. Let's go, Bulls.